When it comes to frequently asked questions about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, there's one that I see pop up constantly, and that is, why are there so many Waluigis? While there are some videos on YouTube that talk about vehicle combos and why people pick Waluigi, I wanted to make a quick video that answers this specific question once and for all. I'm mainly doing this just so I can link it to people who ask this question rather than having to type out a whole explanation every single time. Okay, let's get into it. As you guys probably already know, the characters in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe are divided up into 3 different weight classes, being light, medium, and heavy. However, what a lot of people don't know is that there are actually multiple subcategories within each of these 3 weight classes. If you guys look at this chart, there are actually 16 different categories of characters. And yes, each one of these categories has their own unique stats. The lighter characters tend to have more of a focus on handling and acceleration, while the heavier characters focus more on weight and speed. So with just these 5 stats, things don't seem all that complicated. But what if I told you that this game actually has hidden stats that it doesn't tell you about on the character selection screen? Well, unfortunately, this is true. If you take a look at this chart, you can see that the stats actually go way deeper than the basic 5 that the game tells you. Okay, so now that we know this, let's take a deeper dive into why exactly certain characters are more popular. What you guys need to know is that the most important stats for performing well in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe are speed, weight, and mini turbo. Speed is important because, well, it's a racing game. Weight is important because if you're playing online, you're going to get bumped around a lot. The lighter you are, the easier it's going to be for you to get bumped off the track. And mini turbo is important because it lets you build mini turbos faster, as well as maintain the mini turbo boost for a longer amount of time. Some may say that mini turbo is the most important stat in the game. So with all of this knowledge, it should be pretty clear now as to why people gravitate towards the weight class that Waluigi is in. While none of its stats are necessarily the best in the game, it does have the best balance of all the important ones. But Chase, wait a second. Everyone uses Waluigi, but there are 2 other characters in the same weight class as him. How come no one uses those characters? Well, first of all, some people actually do use these characters, and that includes me. I actually prefer using Roy or DK over Waluigi just because I like to at least be a little different. But there is a reason why high-level players tend to gravitate towards Waluigi. If you've played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe online at all, you know that this game is hectic beyond belief. There are items constantly being spammed everywhere, especially with the addition of the double item system. So in order to have a good chance of succeeding, you need to have good awareness. This means constantly looking around you at all times, including using your rear view camera. But to have even greater awareness, wouldn't using a thin, slim character be better than using a character with a gigantic shell on his back or a massive ape? Yes, playing Waluigi makes the ability to see what's going on around you much easier. That, ladies and gentlemen, is why higher level Mario Kart players tend to use Waluigi. Now, before ending the video, there are a couple things I'd like to clarify. First of all, this video is mainly talking about 150cc. In 200cc, you have a lot more leeway with what character you can use. While the heavier characters are still viable, it matters a lot less. The other thing I want to go over is this. Do you need to use Waluigi in order to do well in this game? No, of course not. If you're good enough, you can do well with pretty much any character. But if you want the greatest chance of winning, using a character from the Waluigi weight class is going to be your best bet. This is why competitive players use him, because they want the greatest chance of winning. I know I'm going to get a ton of comments saying that you don't need to use Waluigi in order to do well, and while that is correct, please don't clown on people who do prefer to use him. These players are only trying to be the best, and if you take the game seriously, there's nothing wrong with that. Lastly, I want to go over what other characters are good in 150cc if you prefer not to use the Waluigi weight class. The Wario and Dry Bowser weight class is pretty good. I actually see quite a few Wario/Mr. Scooty combos floating around. But definitely use Wario over Dry Bowser if you care about the awareness factor. Also, remember how earlier I mentioned how Mini Turbo might be the most important stat in the game? Well, part of the reason I say that is because some of the baby characters are actually viable. In time trials, that is. Baby Rosalina and Baby Daisy actually hold the world record on some tracks because of their Mini Turbo stat, such as on Coconut Mall. But online, I wouldn't recommend using these characters, because you're going to get bumped off the track about 10 times per race. especially if everyone else is using heavier characters. And there you have it. Those are the reasons why Waluigi is a top tier character in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I know some people are probably annoyed at the fact that there are so many characters in this game, yet everyone chooses to gravitate towards one, but that's just what happens when you make a game where a ton of different characters have different stats. One is always going to be better than the rest. It's not the first time this has happened either. Just look at Mario Kart Wii. Everyone picks Funky Kong and Daisy because they have the best stats for that game. I do hope that in the future, Nintendo keeps the same stats throughout the 3 main weight classes so that we can have more diversity with character selection. But it is what it is. That's all from me, guys. If you like this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more Mario Kart content like this. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day.